Welcome everybody to Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal for the Nintendo 3DS.
About time we finally got to this game, and
Basically everybody, Fire Nice is coming this September, so I figured, yeah, let's get the first one done, why not?
And at first I was dreading this commentary, but actually now it's just, at worst this game's boring, has some nice dialogue to read here and there, and it's harmless.
Speak for yourself. I think the dialogue in this game is absolutely fucking hot garbage, but whatever.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
I said some of the dialogue. Oh.
I think all of it is, honestly. I don't think there is a single line in this game that even puts some kind of smirk on my face. Anyway...
Oh, well, I wasn't talking about funny, I was just talking about being serviceable or harmless at times.
Oh, okay then. In that case, we're gonna start a new game. Alright, cutscene.
And yes, audience, this is pretty much in a different continuity from Rise of Lyric.
For reasons that make no sense. But I'll get into that when we get into the gameplay. Oh god, I hate this scene.
So slimy snakes like you couldn't find them and abuse their power.
I do, however, love Sidney Robinson as Amy. She's my favorite Amy, actually.
Mine too.
As the last remaining ancient, the crystal is
She's my favorite Amy than the Death H2's Amy.
Hi, Amy. What's up?
Fighting for my life with the
And there's my favorite Sonic, Roger Craig Smith.
Hey.
Well, him alongside Jaleel White.
You'll tell me what I want to know, little girl.
I don't think so.
Yes, who knew stopping the fight in the middle and try to talk on the fucking gamepad was a bad idea? Fucking
He's
stupid
written
bitch.
so well in the TV show.
You can call me
I
Lyric.
swear.
Hell, you don't even have to bring in the TV show. She's actually pretty recently written in Rise of Lyric, so what happened here? I tell you what.
That's another plus I'll give
Two
on Rise
words,
of Lyric.
Pontac and Graph.
I gotta get
Which is weird, because, Pontac and Graf have been, off, but this feels almost mutatedly bad with how Shattered Crystal is. I mean,
You can
Sonic
it's like
Colors, that was good.
It's like they're not even trying anymore.
And which is weird, because, for all the faults of Lost World story, it did show that they were actually trying to an extent to improve, so what the heck happened here?
Yeah, Colors was good, Lost World was harmless. This is just bad to meh.
And Generations,
I find this terrible because
that was confirmed that the story got
here's the
cut
thing.
down by
Unlike
Sega.
Sonic Lost World, this script is pretty much like there's no real attempt at emotional engagement or story or character development. This entire plot is just here for jokes. That's all the characters do in this story, which would be fine if the jokes were good, but
They're not.
they're not. Anyway,
it's
yeah.
funny, that's
Basically,
another
everybody,
thing-
let me just
Oh,
explain
go on.
what the game is. Basically, everybody, Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal is a Metroidvania style Sonic game. Yes, the first ever Metroidvania style of Sonic game. Basically, you have this large side-scrolling level with a lot of different pathways you can take. And my problem with this is that it's done at the sacrifice of speed, which is, like it or not, Sonic's big trademark that separates him from other platformers. And if the trade-off isn't even that good, because the enemies are incredibly easy to destroy, the platforming is basic beyond belief, and the level design is just not interesting. Go ahead, Jovah. You want to say something?
It's basically a crap Sonic CD.
You want to say something? Oh wait, I think he burped. Oh, he did. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What I was saying. What I was saying was. Oh yeah, that's right. This thing. Basically, each of the four playable characters, Sonic, Tails, Sticks, and Knuckles, all have their own special ability. Sonic's specific ability is that he can do this kind of double jump thingy that also destroys blue blocks. I don't quite understand why can it be like on his.
It's basically a half-ass boost, really.
Not really, Shiroi. All it does is cover like 10 feet ahead of you.
No, I mean in terms of the smashing through stuff thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't it make more sense for him to be in his curl state when he does that? Whatever. Yeah, basically all you have to... just... Here's the main problem... But that's not even the main problem of this game, because if that were the only problems, then the gameplay would just be bland. What makes this gameplay go from just bland to just plain boring is the fact that they kind of brought that stupid thing back from some 90s platformers, where in order to advance into certain levels, obligatory levels, I mean, you have to collect a lot of trinkets that are in the levels, which means that when you're trust me, they really want you to explore these levels to find all of these little trinkets so that you can open the levels, and you're gonna need to collect like about 80% of them to complete the game. Go ahead, Jovah.
And it does note that some of those collectibles are kind of blocked off from you until you unlock certain characters and abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really wrong with collectathons as long as the game that it's in is fun.
Yeah, the reason Rareware's platformers, and to a lesser extent Jak and Daxter, worked fine with that is because the games were actually built around that kind of thing. Whereas in here, it just feels like the developers finished the game and look, oh wait, actually this game only lasts like what, 3 hours? How do we make it longer? Simple. Let's create an arbitrary barrier of trinkets.
Yeah. Now, from what I've heard and seen, Fire and Ice, one improvement that has been practically confirmed is that, well, the game does allow you to either speed through or explore if you want, so that's optional. So that's a nice touch. And also another thing from what I've seen, the writing seems to have been improved, although I heard that apparently the TV show writers are actually writing that one, which would explain it.
Apparently, it's actually a combination of both Pontic and Graf and the show's writers.
Perhaps Pontic and Graf just work better when, they actually have a collaborating writer.
Or maybe...
Although, apparently there was very little communication involved with everyone. It was quite
this game?
a mess.
Huh?
No, between all three parties, it was quite a mess.
I think she's talking about the writers of the show, the writers of Rise of Lyric, and the writers of this game. Well, yes,
Yeah.
actually, she wrote that it wasn't even little communication. Just from playing all three of these things, well, watching one of them since it's a TV show, I can tell zero communication went down because all three shows, all three incarnations pretty much ignored the other two. So, yeah.
Well, the TV show does
Even though
apparently...
supposedly
the TV show seems to pay more continuity to Rise of Lyric than Shattered Crystal, ironically.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's interesting you bring that up, Joe, because allow me to bring up when the Sonic Boom project was announced, cross media, it was going to be comic books, a cartoon, and then games for Wii U and 3DS. When they were announced, I actually really, as a big Level 5 fan, I'm obviously used to cross-media franchises, Zoom 11, Yokai Watch, Little Bowser's Experience, and the upcoming Snack World. So I'm used to, so I've seen Level 5 prove that you can really create a franchise that covers pretty much all facets of media and do it really well, especially because if you have the original creator overseeing all of these things. The problem here is that there was no actual visionary behind this. All they did was have okay, let's give all four facets actually, because there's also the comic books. Let's give all four facets of the things to four different teams, and not have them actually communicate and try to make sure these things are consistent. I mean, that's such a complete misunderstanding of what makes the potential of a cross-media franchise.
Apparently what occurred was like the video game, or at least Rise of Lyric, ended up being a tie-in to the TV show. And basically, Boom as a franchise has been succeeding, except for in the games department. The games are definitely the weakest link. However, when it comes to continuity, the TV show seems to be paying more mind to Rise of Lyric. Because,
let me just interrupt you for a second.
Sonic and Shadow, actually, in the TV show.
Let me just interrupt you for a second, Joe. Allow me to remind you, everybody, that we're 6 minutes into this level, and it's still not over.
And there's actually an achievement if you beat... Well, not really an achievement if you beat the game in the level in 6 minutes? Yeah, 6 minutes 40.
Oh yeah, you mean that? You mean the thingy there? Yeah.
The medal thingy.
Fortunately, it's not one of those medals to unlock the 100% bonus that is such a massive middle finger to the player. But whatever. I'll bring that up when I show it. Yes, honest, I will be completing this game 100% so I can show off that stupid thing at Amy's house. Anyway...
No, the lack of...
No, go ahead.
About the lack of communication, I know this was a big red button thing in terms of the games, but...
well, actually, the interesting thing is that Bob Raffay from Big Red from BRB, for those who don't know, Bob Raffay was one of the big, was basically the big artist at Naughty Dog who designed the Jak and Daxter characters.
And a bit of Uncharted 1.
And a bit of Uncharted 1, yeah. He was actually the guy who made these redesigns. So Bob Raffer is actually the BRB was pretty much the big primary force, at least during the initial development.
Well, only really with the game. Yeah, that's sort of the thing. Ironically, the games weren't really the main leading force, it was the TV show, and now I can actually see why. But yeah, there used to be a misconception. There used to be a misconception that the TV show was a tie into the games when it was actually the other way around.
Well, I think the reason that miscommunication... Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
While Rise of Lyric seems to have been originally the game that the TV show was going to pay continuity to, it seems like they may be going out of their way now to make it so that Fire and Ice could possibly bridge that gap instead, since the 3DS game was the more better received one. Which is kind of a shame because Rise of Lyric is actually more fun, has a better story, and honestly, despite all its bugs and stuff, still works with its combat in a way that it could be fun.
That's a sad,
it's not your traditional Sonic thing, but I give that the excuse of it being a spin-off, and honestly, I could actually still get a good time out of that. And yeah, I actually do like some of the mock speed sections in Rise of Lyric, because some of them are actually designed well, and I can actually get some nice stuff out of it. Also, the dialogue isn't that bad.
No. Even though Rise of Lyric is a technically worse game, it's much more enjoyable than this game. This game may be technically a better game, it's at least polished and shit like that, but it's much less fun. Way less fun.
Which is a shame, because, again, I've said, I actually thought that the story of Rise of Lyric, while by no means a masterpiece in general, was an actual good story and had good humor. I will never still forget that part where Knuckles knocks a ring out of Sonic. Now that
was funny. Well, Sega was supposed to be overseeing all of this, even the games were being developed by Big Red Button, but Sega just didn't.
Sega didn't care, I guess, I don't know.
They were supposed to. I mean, quality control.
That's the sad part, Shiroi. Sega has always been one of the worst in terms of quality control.
Although now they seem to actually be upping their game, including actually finally localizing stuff that we've been asking for.
I still don't see any sign of Phantasy Star Online 2 being localized, though.
Aren't they not releasing a 25th anniversary game either? They're keeping the next Sonic game for another few years.
Like I said, the whole...
Apparently that's only like I said, like 2017, which is actually good on them because honestly, at this rate, if they were actually going to release that anniversary game that we have not even heard yet of this year,
this is still going. This level is still going.
What I want, and I don't think this is too much to ask for personally. Like I know why deadlines are set, but I just wish above all people would try to put quality control above a fucking deadline just once.
And they seem to have finally started that with Fire and Ice, thank goodness.
Hell, even level 5 had
the game, but honestly, I'm a bit apprehensive for
hell, even level 5 had the balls to...
I'm just going off of what I've actually seen and heard for Fire and Ice, because it actually does seem to be improving. However, I'm still, of course, going to wait for the final product, but I will say that from what they've been doing lately, I'm more smiling than frowning at Sega. I'll give them that.
Yeah, as for the whole thing with Sega of saying this time we're gonna do better, I swear. All I'll say is I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Anyway,
that's what I said on Twitter, and I got lambasted for it.
Anyway, another it's exactly what Shiroi said. Quality control. I mean, take your time with things if you want. Oh, hold on, the level's almost over. Hino, President level 5, actually surprised a lot of people by saying oh, by the way, after Akachi 3, the Akachi games are taking a pause. This is their cash cow franchise, and yet he has no problem in just putting it in pause, even though he doesn't have to. No real surprise,
Pokemon did a similar thing too when eventually they felt the need to slow down.
Well, the thing is, Pokemon has always had spin-offs that allow them to do that anyway, so...
And I'm sure, that break will give him time to come up with new ideas.
Anyway...
But, like I said, for Sega, actions...
That took 11 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And, exploration's fine if it,
Alright, hold on, Jovah. time to do some voice acting. I think. Isn't it in a cutscene? Oh yeah, this is another thing. Trust me on it, that's not my footage. The loading screen, for some reason, sometimes freezes. That's not my footage, trust me, that's how it is in the game. Alright, go ahead, alright.
Right.
Jovah.
Tails! I was just online with Amy. She's got a line on those super powerful shattered crystal shards she's been hunting.
Oh, by the way, that's only explained in the comic. Cool! I'll show off the comic later.
There's a comic? Huh.
Alright, hold on.
But some big crazy robo snake calling himself Lyric slithered in and snatched her.
Snagged her. Not so cool. Get it? It's funny because it said so cool and now it says not so cool. It's funny.
I was hoping you could use your scientific know-how and plucky can-do attitude to figure out where she is.
First thing we need to do is figure out where she's been.
Okay.
And I'm emphasizing the word been for some reason.
You can do that?
Yes, I'm operating on Frank Miller logic. Give me 10 minutes and I'll tell you what she had for breakfast last September. I've been itching to experiment with this ancient tech we gleaned from those ruins Amy's been digging in. Again, I'll show off the comic book that explains this backstory later.
You know what's really a sad missed opportunity? Yeah. Why not have made this sort of a semi-equal to Rise of Lyric? I mean, okay. Like, make it a mini-adventure of sorts. Like, something that you can still skip over, but have it be in continuity with Rise of Lyric. Like, have it be after Rise of Lyric. Like, say, oh no, Lyric is still on the loose, seeing as how they actually never even really sealed him back at the end of Rise of Lyric, so yeah, have him be back.
But that's the point of a cross-media franchise, but remember, the teams didn't get involved with each other at all.
Admittedly, there were two different teams, but yeah, Sega should have probably had them in the same room for this sort of stuff.
I mean, again, he knows the main writer for all of the facets of his cross-media franchises. That's probably why the man looks so fucking drained. I mean, seriously, Jovah, after we're done today, I have to show you that one recent stream that Level 5 made. He knows eyelashes. Well, they got worse. Like,
a little bit drained is an understatement.
Remember, Pedro, I've met the man before. He came to my state.
Oh yeah. What did he look like?
Yeah,
Did he look even remotely close to fine?
If by fine you mean dog tired and like countless bags under his eyes, sure, he was fine.
No, that's it, audience. Trust me. Watch any interview with Akihiro Hino and look at his eyes. Jesus. Anyway, back to this.
And trust me, audience, you don't need like an extreme facial close-up to see what we mean.
Long story short, Japanese devs, well, they sleep so little that sometimes they sleep at their offices.
Anyway, now that we have Tails, now we can get back into the first level and get some trinkets that we can only get as him. Like this part. Tails' ability is that he can fly using these fans. Or rather, levitate.
Like in Rise of Lyric.
And here's another special thing exclusive to Tails, the submarine sections. Basically, Tails will control this toy submarine to try to find either a crystal or a puzzle piece. And these sections are basically a throwback to the vehicle sections from one of Tails' Game Gear games. I forgot which.
Tails Adventure.
Is it that one? Is it? It's been a
Yeah,
while.
that's it. And I actually quite enjoyed it for what it was.
It has been such a while since I played that game, but I do recall it being one of the better spin-offs.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, sorry.
Well, basically, you can see the map there. Just go and it's not hard. It's just kind of. Go ahead, Shiroi.
My first experience of classic Sonic games was through Mega Collection Plus and Gems Collection, so I spent a lot of time playing that game.
My first exposure too.
Well, Tails had another game, but we won't talk about that.
Wait, never mind. Actually, you mean Tails Sky Patrol? That'll be fun to tackle, but actually, my first exposure to classic Sonic was way back in the day. First played Sonic CD, which may have been the first platformer I ever played in my life, next to Crash Bandicoot.
My first was the original Sonic one back when it was first released, because I wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Mine would have been either Crash or Spyro.
And that's it. There you go.
I was introduced to both around the same time.
Now we got all 6 thingies, so let's go away.
Yeah, that's kind of a sad thing about this game. It's like, well, it has such an easy formula to tackle. I mean, you know, the Metroidvania one. And yet, well, okay, I can get putting in limitations here, but usually that's because the entire game itself is, you know, one giant level in a sense.
Oh my
I
god,
mean,
the
yeah,
game froze. Oh no.
reason-
Okay,
no,
never mind. No, but again, for every time I watch the loading screens for this game, I always think that the game froze because it's so
it's
whatever.
Like, well, you think that if they were doing the Metroidvania style, they would have done the usual stick. You know, like we'll have the whole game.
Hold
be
on,
like
Joe,
one
let me
big
explain
open.
this.
Yeah, different. moves and
Basically,
all that.
everybody, these are the blueprint thingies, where when you get a certain number of blueprints, you can come in here and unlock a skill for Sonic. The most important ones are the radar ones, because they allow you to see the trinkets on the map screen. So make sure to get those ones first.
I'm pretty sure the corner piece doesn't go up there, past Pedro.
I know, it's just that, whatever. I'm so...
What would Layton say about that, Pedro?
I know, but,
But
Can't have
yeah.
nice things.
But yeah, it's like, well, you know, if you're gonna go the Metroidvania style, and you know, you're gonna have, of course, these unlockable characters with stuff that you couldn't get previously, why do a level by level thing where you're gonna have to go back to the first level anyway? I mean, why not just, you know, have the whole game be one in big environment, and you know, you eventually warp back or do it like that. And I'm pretty sure the 3DS can fit a whole big world. You know, I mean, the SNES handles stuff like Super
hey, check it out.
Metroid.
Amy's tablet is still broadcasting. I was able to download some videos she shot while searching for the shadow crystals. I also noticed some selfies she took. Want to see them?
She doing selfies?
Sort of. Just watch. Go ahead, Shiroi.
That's Shiroi.
The key to location, crystal shards. Knew I could.
Tails, this is
Oh
the
my
last
god, she's
time that you
Sonic, she's speaking in tongues again.
No, it's called interference, pal.
The files are a mess from when she dropped their tablet, but I wrote a program that will clean them up. It might just take a while.
You're a very convenient little plot device, aren't you?
A program that will clean up sticks because she's going to be a mess when we tell her BFF is kidnapped.
Ha! Get it? Selfies, BFF. See, we're trendy. We're hip with the young ones.
Well, BFF is something that you hear a lot of times anyway. That's not quite as trendy as, say, selfies. I don't even get it. What about selfies eventually became so trendy? I mean, you know, it's not like they were a new thing. I mean, people did it all the time, just with older tech.
Ha! Sonic won.
1, 2, 3. Ha! I win! My scissors rock!
I would say that's an homage to Alex Kidd, but Putek and Greg probably don't even know who Alex Kidd is.
They might. One knows they may know more about him than Sonic. Don't get lost in the jungle looking for Styx' burrow. The way she's hidden.
That's a nice way to put it.
I haven't played Alex Kidd in years.
Anyway, everybody, in the next part, we do indeed meet Styx, and I think that's when I show off the comic. I forgot which part I show the comic. I do show it, I just forgot which part I show it. Anyway, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.